obsessed with this chair situation. How should I do this? Okay, just kidding. I'm not gonna do it like that. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Izzy, and if you're just stumbling across this video, I'm primarily a fashion influencer on Instagram, and you can follow me there. @IzzyDilge is my handle, and that is where the questions from today's video are coming from. So that being said, today's video is going to be a Q&A. I haven't done one on YouTube yet, and I haven't done one on Instagram in a really long time. So yesterday I asked my followers on stories to send me any questions they have, could be about anything. So I picked 9 questions because I think that's all you'll want to hear from me today. So I'm gonna go through and answer each one of those to the best of my abilities. Thank you, first of all. Chris and I have always found traveling to be like one of our favorite things to spend money on. So in the years we've been together almost 6 years now. We always have built travel into our budget because I feel like it's the best thing to spend money on, like seeing the world. I just feel like there's no material thing that could replace like an experience or like learning a new language or something like that. So anyways, that being said, it's just been something we always budgeted for, and we're also really fortunate like that my parents have a place in Maui. Makes it a lot easier for us to go there and a lot more affordable as well. So that's why I kind of were able to go there more. But yeah, budgeting for travel is a big thing, and just making it part of your annual budget will really help. And like booking flights and like booking accommodation in advance of your trip so that by the time you get there, all you need to have is spending money. I feel like that's a big thing too. It just like kind of planning around that, so it feels like by the time you get there you're not actually spending that much money because you've done it over time, so it doesn't like attack your bank account all at once, if that makes sense. That's a hard question. 100% would recommend living in Vancouver. We love it. The only thing that's tough is how much it rains in the winter, so it's a good time to take a vacation through the rainy months. Yeah, it's such a great city to live if you like doing outdoor activities like hiking and skiing and being near the ocean as well. That's a big thing for me with Vancouver. You kind of have mountains and ocean, so that's like really awesome. The summers there are amazing, and you can like, it doesn't usually snow downtown Vancouver, but you can easily drive to the mountains and get to the snow in like under an hour, and Whistler's right there too. And the other great thing about the other great thing about Vancouver is that for us to get to Australia, it's only one flight, whereas if we lived in Eastern Canada, it would be a lot further for us to get to. So being able to travel from Vancouver as like a big international city is a really big thing for us as well. I would love to live in Australia at some point. It's such an amazing country. I guess it just kind of depends what you're looking for. Like Vancouver and Canada definitely has like all 4 seasons, whereas Australia, it gets cooler in the winter, but it's definitely more of like a summer destination. But absolutely love it there. Chris is from a town called Port Macquarie, which is like a 4-hour drive north of Sydney. So it's pretty much on the East Coast, and it's between Brisbane and Sydney. And it's so beautiful there. It gets really warm in the summer, but it's pretty like, it's not too cold in the winter. So it's amazing. Definitely recommend traveling to both and see which one you like better and where you could see yourself settling down. But I can't really give like a proper answer because I'd be happy to live in both. So we met in Halifax actually, which is on the complete opposite coast of Canada. It's on the East Coast from Vancouver. We met because I was going to university there, and he and his friend, everyone always asks him like, why did you pick Halifax of all places in Canada to move to? So him and his friend, when they decided to move to Canada, they were looking at where to go to, and Vancouver already has a lot of Australians. If you've been there, you'll see like they all come for the skiing and stuff, and Whistler's like usually full of Australians. So they said not Vancouver because there's too many Aussies there already. His friend wanted to go to Toronto, but Chris has always lived on the coast, so he was like, I want it to be on the coast. So they were like, okay, Halifax it is then, because that's kind of the biggest major city on the East Coast, even though it's not a very big city. So anyways, that's why he decided to move there. And I actually played rugby in university, if you can believe it. I can't believe that I used to do that to my body. But anyways, when Chris and his friend moved over from Oz, they joined the rugby club that I was playing for. And that's how we met, was through the rugby club, and it's kind of all history from there. I got my first job out of university in Vancouver, like not long after we met. And I just figured I had like nothing to lose by asking him if he wanted to come to Vancouver with me, and he said yes. So 6 months later, we moved to Vancouver, and yeah, that was almost 6 years ago now, if you can believe it. So that's how the love story started. So this is something I haven't really done on Instagram even lately, is provided any kind of wedding update. So Chris proposed, if you're new and don't know us very well, he proposed on Christmas Eve 2019, so just over a year ago. And our plans before COVID were to get married on June 5th, 2021, so like 6 months from now, in Maui. So it's always like, he proposed in Maui. The reason that we want our wedding destination to be Maui is because it's kind of like halfway between Australia and Canada. So we just figure like the most of our friends and family will be able to attend. So that's why we picked that. So anyways, because of COVID and because Australians aren't really able to leave the country at the moment, and I mean, like, obviously we're not supposed to be traveling right now either, we decided to postpone our wedding. So it's going to be taking place, we haven't set the actual date, but probably like June 4th, 2022. So that's kind of the latest for now. We sent out save the dates, but then like sent out change the dates, which was kind of devastating, but also a little bit of a relief because I hadn't done any planning other than we booked the venue. I found my dress. I've already had my dress for like almost a year. My mom and I went shopping in February last year, and I miraculously like found my dress in the second store we went to. So had it for a long time. But yeah, everything's kind of been on hold, but stay tuned. I'm gonna do a bit of a wedding series on YouTube, so I'm looking forward to that. And I'm probably gonna get planning underway and stuff probably this month or next month. So stay tuned for more exciting videos. Okay, the next few questions are more Instagram related, so I'm gonna kind of group those ones together and go through them. And I would have to say, I've probably had I think it's been like just over 2 years since I started my page and decided that I wanted to do like the fashion influencing thing. It was me and my girlfriend Tita, who I met up with coffee one day and just like decided we wanted to take this seriously, and we made like our media kits, which is like a blogger resume pretty much, if you don't know, and just like kept posting for about a year consistently. And then I really noticed that I started to grow last year in February when Tita and I went to LA on like a girls blogger trip, and had some meetings with brands and like shot a ton of content, like slaved ourselves to shoot as much content as possible. And that was just before COVID hit, so it was like, so thankful we did that trip. So I noticed from there that I started getting a lot of reposts from big inspo accounts, so accounts that post like lots of people's photos that they like, and they usually have really big followings. So that was what really like started launching my growth, and that was February. And I really noticed my Instagram kind of take off from there. That really gave me the push that I needed for like more people to see my page. And then I started hitting the explore page more often, and that's kind of what started it. And it was going really well up until like, I want to say like August of this year. I think there was some serious algorithm changes, and I noticed that my engagement hasn't been as good and my reach hasn't been as good, which is disappointing, but consistency is key. So all you can do is keep working through the rough patches and just hope it gets better. I am probably not the best person to answer that question because I still haven't done that myself. It is a goal of mine this year, maybe towards middle end of the year or like early next year. I'd love to do that for a year and travel with Chris or live in Australia or something and just have that as my sole income. But I still do have a 9-to-5, and at this point in time, I'm making like a part-time salary from Instagram, but I haven't taken it full-time yet. So I think in terms of like how to grow your Instagram, I can't give you advice on taking it full-time because I haven't done that yet, but it definitely takes consistency. Like however often you post, like continuing to post at that frequency so your followers know what to expect from you, and constantly posting stories so people get to know you, and and really showing like who you are on the platform. I think that like consistency is like #1 key, and perseverance. Like I was just talking about how I've noticed like my photos aren't being seen by as many people and stuff, and with all the constant new changes to the algorithm and like the new software like reels on Instagram, it can be hard to keep up, but like perseverance is definitely key as well, because it can be really frustrating when you're trying to grow your page and like no matter what you do it feels like you're not able to grow. So consistency and perseverance, and just keep like reaching out to brands, and then you kind of get to a point where they start to mostly reach out to you, and then you slowly start to increase your rates as you gain a bigger following and your engagement rate gets stronger. And it's just consistency is key, really. And then eventually, hopefully you get to a point where you're like comfortable enough with the income that you're earning from your page, and you can go from there. So I've actually done 2 YouTube videos now on how I edit and shoot my photos. So the first one was how I edit, and then the second one was how I shoot and like a little editing update for the change in the seasons. So you can find those on my page, and they're pretty lengthy and detailed, but if you have any other questions, feel free to drop them in the comment box below and I will answer them for you. I get inspo from a lot of different places, like sometimes from other creators on Instagram or like celebrities like Hailey Bieber, because who doesn't love her style? But I feel like it takes a lot of trial and error to find your own style, because like there's certain things that Hailey would wear that I don't think I could pull off. So it's a lot about like having inspo, but then like figuring out what works for you and your body and like what you can pull off and what you like to wear and stuff like that. Another place that I like find inspo is the inspo accounts that I was talking about on Instagram. Like you can kind of tell what's trending based on like what kind of stuff they repost. So I find that really helpful. Or this one's kind of random, but I feel like certain brands like Zara, for example, or H&M are like worldwide brands, and I find that like they're pretty good at predicting like what's going to be in for the season, or like same with designers as well. I like looking through their website and kind of seeing what's on there, and like sometimes it's like, oh, that's a bit like out there, but then that ends up being really in this season. So that's one place I like to check as well. And then to name a few content creators that I really like, Matilda Jerf. I really like her style. It's very like cozy and cute, but I feel like she's really good at predicting trends as well, and like just rocks her own style really well. Josephine HJ, Hannah Schomburg, and Sophia Coelho also have like really cool like laid back vibes that they all pull off in a different way, and I feel like those are 3 girls that I really like their style and I get inspo from. Another place is Pinterest. Like scrolling through Pinterest, a lot of people will tend to pin like what kind of stuff they like or like what's in for the season or whatever, so that's a good place to scroll through if you're looking for inspo as well. Okay, last question, and I really like this one. I would say like exercising for me is a really big one. I really like working out a lot because of the feeling after. Like even if you don't feel like going to the gym or going for a workout, I feel like you always feel 10 times better after from like the endorphins and stuff, so that's a really big one. Lately, since COVID, I feel like I've really enjoyed taking baths, so I love that. I really like reading as well, and then like doing a skincare routine, like a face mask or something like that, that just like helps you feel relaxed and like rejuvenated and taking care of yourself. Or honestly, if I'm having a bad day, sometimes the best thing to do is just to like put on a season of a show, or like something that can just take your mind off what's going on in your own life and just kind of get lost in a good series or something, or a good book. So those are probably my top few self-care activities. Well, that pretty much sums that up. Thank you guys for watching. I hope I answered all of your questions okay, and maybe I'll try to do these every couple months or so. So if you guys have any additional questions or like follow-up questions based on these, I can answer them in the next video. So don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss another vid, and see you next time.